Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. My name is Fakhri bin Ahmad Zunaidi and my matrix number is B0517101004. Today I'm going to present for my final year project 1. The title that been given to me are the modification of graphite nanopellets for polyaniline or GNPS, electroconduction, nanocomposite for wearable antenna and application. For my first introduction, antenna is a wireless communication that are able to access signal in variety frequency bands. The growing demand of wireless communication that make research are to work hard and to ensure the enhance of the performance and application of the resulted antenna. Second, the material are made from modification of graphite nanopellet with polyaniline nanocomposite. Third, polyaniline are used as a polymer composite and modification of graphite nanopellets as a nanofiller. Next, I'm going to talk about my problem statement. The first problem statement, there was no available wearable type of textile antenna which is possess good conductivity and other important antenna attributes such as antenna gain and return loss. Second, available antenna have standard shape and a solid in their form, a rigid structure, a big size and an expensive material. They are also have a radiation pattern and many more. Third, there are no standard understanding for the wearable textile antenna properties that made up from polymer nanocomposite. And lastly, in order to enhance the conductivity of polyaniline nanocomposite, the graphite nanopellets need to be surface modification to ensure the good filler dispensation and better electrical current pass of network. Next, I'm going to talk about my objective. First, my objective is to characterize the modification graphite nanopellets using various characterization tools such as X-ray diffraction (XRD), for transform infrared spectroscopy (FTIR), scanning electron microscope (SEM), and Raman spectroscopy. Second, to compare electrical conductivity behavior of polyaniline added with modified graphite nanopellet and unmodified graphite nanopellets at different filler loaded. Third, to observe the graphite nanopellet nanofiller dispensed with the polyaniline polymer matrix in relation to the surface modification effect. Next, we go into the scope of work. The scope of work is to focus the preparation and testing of the polyaniline polymer with graphite nanopellet with modification or unmodification as a filler to compare the electricity conductivity. Second, the filler of graphite nanopellets being added to polyaniline matrix with compensation of 0.5% and 1% as a filler loading. Third, polyaniline being tested and been characterized for the morphological, electrical and physical properties using SEM, SRD, FTIR and Raman spectroscopy. Next, I'm going to talk about the lecture review. From the lecture review, there are some way to fabricate wearable textile antenna, and one of them is an evaluation of graphite nanopellet and polyaniline. Polyaniline exists in many different forms in chemical and physical property. Polyaniline is one of the most useful polymer that being used widely studied due to its good facile synthesis, environmental stability and potential applications such as anti-corrosion coating, emitted diodes, chemical sensor and light secondary battery. Graphite nanopellets have been found increasing interest in the provision of polymer nanocomposite. Graphite nanopellets showcase attractive properties such as high aspect ratio, light, thermal and electric conductivity. They also have mechanical resistance and low cost structure. It shows that electrical conductivity have resistance loss and antenna gain influence to performance and characteristics of the textile wearable antenna. Wearable antenna are growing and challenging, and it brings a great future in the development of wireless communication technology that are growing into the minimizing communication system. Lastly, I'm going to talk about the methodology. For my methodology, the method that being used for the material are graphite nanopellet and polyaniline. The method that be used for the first is the modification of graphite nanopellet. The graphite nanopellet has been modification for the filler. After that, characterized using tools such as SRD, FTIR, SEM, and Raman spectroscopy. After that, the GNP have been added to the filler loading for the polyaniline for the synthesis. And then polyaniline with the modification of graphite nanopellet and unmodified graphite nanopellet have been combined. Lastly, we use scanning electron microscope for observation. And lastly, I'm going to talk about the testing. For the testing that be used, there are four type of tool that be used. First is the FTIR. FTIR are conduct for identification of functional group available in the backbones of polyaniline polymer and their related chemical composition. Second, we use Raman spectroscopy. Raman spectroscopy are used to prevent any photochemical and thermal degradation of the polymer. Third, we use SEM. SEM have a high electron-centered beam was used to produce a differential signal on the surface of the tested specimen. SRD was used to evaluate the effect of the graphite nanopellets as a nanofiller. That's all for me. Thank you.